This is the President McCormack Podcast with your host, Mark McCormack.
Welcome, Kevin Louder.
Thank you.
President McCormack Podcast, baby. Starting off today, dude, we're talking about your current company, Yellowstone Construction, one of my favorite contractors to hire whenever I need something done in my house or in my office.
Yeah, if we have time now.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. You're too big for me now.
We can't find employees to do any more work.
Yeah. So give us a little bit of your background. So how do we know each other? Let's start with that.
Well, we went to, I guess, junior high together. I don't think we did elementary school.
Where'd you do elementary?
I went to Barrett down in AF. I was in Highland till second grade.
AM or PM kid?
Dude, it was 35 years ago.
I think you're an AM kid.
I think it was AM. Miss Fitcaw.
Dude, 35 years ago, you're pulling out teachers' names.
Well, I ended up working with her brother at Gene Harvey Chevrolet when I did an internship through high school.
Okay.
Doing the auto shop stuff.
Yeah, cool.
So I remember her, and if I remember right, I think she might have been hot, but I was 6. So
yeah, you never know. She's probably very kind.
She was very kind.
Awesome, dude. So we did junior high. We did Mountain Ridge Junior High.
Yeah.
And then
I kind of did Mountain Ridge.
Did you?
I did 7th grade, and then I went on hiatus. And Miss Collister, remember her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Short, hot one that was all the kids wanted.
Yeah.
She came to my house and tutored me every morning, and then I went to work.
Go on.
In 8th grade.
I didn't know you went to work in 8th grade.
Yeah. I mowed lawns and worked for Valdez's parents.
Why was that?
It was right after Chris's dad died and Eric died. And then my parents got divorced that year. And I couldn't keep it together. So the counselors wanted me to they set it up, the counselor at school. So
yeah. Because your house, where was it located to Joe and Rich's house?
One house south.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought.
Not the next one, but
yeah. And then, so when did you re-enter the public school system?
9th grade.
9th grade.
Came back as a poser,
Oh, bro.
Looked like a skater, but never touched a skateboard.
That was me, dude. Yeah. I got beat up in 7th grade because I had patent leather black Airwalk shoes. A couple of 9th graders took offense to that.
Was it ass? Alpine Street Skaters, remember them? They had ass written on the short bottom of their shorts.
I did not join that gang. I was not initiated in. I don't remember that, dude. That's funny.
Yeah.
Alpine Street Skaters. Yeah. I don't know, because I guess we were Highland boys.
Yeah.
But, dude, that is funny. No, it was funny. I was telling the story the other day. I literally got held down by 2 guys and punched in the face like 4 times by the other one. And our gym coach watched it happen. It was out on the track. And I came in, and the dude goes like, "What happened to your face?" And I just grabbed the towel from him and took a shower. I was like, "You asshole, you know exactly what happened to my face."
He must have thought you needed an ass whooping.
I guess. I mean, a really awkward young man, clearly not a skater.
Terrible.
Yeah. Good old Junko jeans. I think my mom was super happy when I switched over to Lucky Brands.
Yeah.
She was willing to pay the $90 back then, which was like
they were
$400 nowadays.
Yeah, the old math book in the back pocket pants.
Yeah. So cool though, dude. Green Day was a big band back then.
Yeah, Dookie.
Oh my gosh. Better times.
I had the best corduroy Jankos. They were like 1/4-inch cords and dark brown fuzzy. Oh, they were the best.
Did we hang out much in 9th grade?
No. I didn't hang out with anyone.
Yeah, you kind of...
I was a floater.
Right? Yeah.
I kind of just was friends with everyone, but not super friends with anyone.
Well, I looked at our panoramic picture the other day that we took, and you stick out now like a sore thumb.
Why is that?
I don't know. Because I like you probably.
From what school?
I'm scanning over it. I'm just like, oh, there's Kevin.
From what school?
Mountain Ridge. That was one where Dan and I flipped the gang signs, and we got our arms like magic markered out.
Dan.
Child.
Yeah, the one fight I ever got in.
With him?
Yeah.
Tell the story.
Well, the hottest girl in school, Mandy. Remember Mandy Lee? So he
She was my girlfriend before she was Dan's girlfriend.
Oh, so now we're gonna get in a fight.
We're spilling dirt. No, we're absolutely not.
So he dated her, whatever dating looks like when you're 13.
Yeah, they held hands and passed notes.
Yeah, and so they broke up. We ended up getting together, and he just wasn't having it. He chased. I didn't want to fight. I don't fight. He chased me out to the bus, and he like, what do you call it?
Shoved or something?
Cheap shot at me. Yeah, just like shoved me from the behind. Yeah. And I got up, turned around, and just hit him as hard as I could, right in the face. And Joe and Richard said his jaw hurt for weeks. He didn't touch me after that. He left. I got on the bus.
See, those are the best kind of fights. You have them when you're young. Yeah. Now that you're older, you're like, this is going to hurt. I don't know if I want to do this.
Oh, why these fighters do it. Sounds awful.
Well, that's fun, dude.
Yeah.
Good old fist fights at Mountain Ridge Junior High, kind of.
Mountain Ridge.
So who ended up with her?
Me.
Well, there you go.
I mean, for, a little while anyway.
That is so funny, dude. She was a really nice person.
She was.
I liked her a lot. Remember in high school, she was dating a guy named Trey or something like that, or Trez or some freaking thing. He was a guitarist with me, like in the jazz band. Because I wasn't nerdy enough, I needed to be in the jazz band.
You play music?
Yeah, I play guitar. So
I'd give anything to learn the piano, but time is not available.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Cool. Yeah. So then we went to high school together, went to Lone Peak High School, graduated in 2000. We were just talking about how we're 22 years.
Kinda Lone Peak High School.
Yeah. You were a floater.
I was. I've been all my life. I went to Lone Peak PG and AF.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate from though?
That's another story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got my good enough diploma when I was 27.
Oh, did you?
When I got sober.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool, very good.
And I didn't graduate high school. I was so floater. Grandma was principal at Pleasant Grove.
Yeah.
So I had to take a class there because she wanted me to.
Yeah.
She'd come and pull me out of class, do this thing because you don't want to get on her bad side. And
is it the grandma I talked to on the phone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a spunk.
And so she'd pull me out, and no one knew she was my grandma. And she'd look at me and be like, "Hey, do you have any lunch money? Do you need lunch money? You want to go golfing? Let's go golfing." She pulled me out of class to go golfing. She stopped doing that when I started beating her. But
nice.
Yeah, then I went to AF, and that's where I did the auto shop thing. But I only did A day. So B day I went to work. A day I went to kind of all the schools.
Oh, nice.
Drove between them all. So yeah, I didn't graduate high school.
Yeah. You're not the only one.
Yeah. But I was working. I was making, really good money as a mechanic, and
yeah.
I didn't see.
Where were you working as a mechanic?
Gene Harvey.
Oh, at Gene Harvey. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You would have been making good money back then.
Yeah, I started through the shop program at the high school, and I was the first sophomore, 10th grade. I was the first sophomore to ever get awarded a internship because it's just young.
Yeah.
So. Oh
yeah, you're way young. We're all skinny and tiny back then.
Yeah, skinny.
Untrustable. It's so funny, man, because I felt capable of doing things probably since I was like 14.
Yeah.
If you need something picked up, I could pick it up. Like, give me a task at work, I could do it. But I look at 14-year-olds now, because now I'm old as hell, and I'm like, I can trust you with anything.
Yeah, it was the same thing at Mountain Ridge. Like Mountain Ridge, remember Mr. Walker?
Oh, yeah.
I was an aide in his class in like 3 periods.
Oh, were you?
Do you remember the award ceremony at the end of 9th grade? So he goes up.
I think I actually got banned from that because of my arm thing in the Panama picture. That's a long story.
Well, he goes up on stage in front of the school, and we're 13, 14, so I'm, this was shocking, but he looks at me, or he looks at the crowd, and he's like, so I was supposed to pick about 15 students, they told me, but I really couldn't think of any. So I picked one, and I want him to come up on the stage. So nice. He brought me up on the stage and gave me a gift and just said how capable and thankful everything he was, and wrote me a shining letter of recommendation for my future.
That's awesome.
Cool.
But that felt good.
I did.
Yeah. You still have it?
Oh, yeah.
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 It's funny you say that. I'm like, I don't have anything like that, but I do have like 14 rejection letters to law school.
Those are painful. So,
well, now that I know how the system works, I'm like, what were you thinking applying to the school? You were applying to somewhere I have 4 spots. White male, you ain't getting it anywhere. Especially with my LSAT score.
We didn't have that problem back then yet, did we?
Oh, gosh. No, back then was awesome. That was Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day and just having fun on the weekends.
Oh, I remember I used to blast Smashing Pumpkins in my room because I had these huge speakers all over my room. And I'd just listen. And Green Day. That's funny you brought those up.
Oh, dude. So Green Day's funny for me because I absolutely loved their first album, Dookie.
Yeah.
And I've hated every other one since. I like the song Brain Stew, but like American Idiot, oh my gosh, I hate that stuff.
I'm the same way. I don't know if it's just because we got older or what, but because they didn't really seem to change all that much. I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, they're a 3-chord band. Yeah. He's also about 5'0" and really angry.
Yeah.
Gotta stop being angry about stuff. So
yeah, everyone thinks I'm always angry, but it's just my RBF.
Really? I think you're joyous every time I see you.
Everyone thinks I'm an asshole before they meet me, before they get to know me.
Really?
Yeah, and everyone tells me.
Well, now you're on the podcast. Everyone will know to love you. It's coming right.
I'm not an asshole. I just look like one.
Well, the thing is, one of the things we have in common is we're in the construction industry, and it's not really a loves and hugs kind of world.
It's not.
It's kind of funny, or funny. It's kind of funny that people will be like, do you mind my language? Just like, your language? Number one, I say the F word 5% of what I think it. And I work in construction. Like, I'm immune, dude. I have the vaccine for the F word.
I mean, I've got a pretty good filter, but I usually don't hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, drop a hammer on your foot I'll tell you one time I was putting a whiteboard on the wall, right, with this guy. We were down in Vegas trying to hurry through it, right? And we put clips on the wall, right? I reach behind this thing, and sometimes the marker boards will bend a little bit, right? So you kind of have to like push them in and kind of hold them, right? Put my fingers on the other side, and he just slams it as hard as he possibly can. It hurt so bad I couldn't talk, and then he slammed it 3 more times before he realized.
Because you couldn't say anything?
Yeah, I was just like, oh. Like, dude, I'm telling you, that hurt so freaking bad. I had like 2 lines across my nails. He's apologizing like crazy because I'm his boss.
Right.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, only construction.
Yeah, that's funny. My guys screw up everything all the time. But I do too. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Things happen, right? So, but that's like they'll break something and just be in total fear.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
And I've got guys who came from companies that when they would break stuff or screw up, they paid for it themselves.
Dude,
and I'm like, that's
people get away with that.
I don't even know that it's legal. I mean, it might be, but it's just not something that I can do. Like you're here working for me, and things happen, and I tell them that, and then they're usually a little better. But
oh yeah, well, I'm always good on forgiving, kind of thing, right? Because it's just like whatever. I'd rather have you make the mistake once and then learn from it, And some of those are painful mistakes.
If they learn from it,
but if you do it like twice, it's like, see ya, bro.
We've had a lot of painful mistakes. Well, not right now because you can't let anyone go. If you let someone go, you're not going to have another employee.
I mean, so how many employees are you rolling with right now?
We got 8 plus me and Joe, and then my dad on the side a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, mostly laborers, right?
Yeah. Well. No, operators and laborers. I mean, we've got 3 developments.
Oh, okay.
We just financed all of our equipment finally. We've got 4 big excavators, 4 skid steers, mini excavator, dump truck.
That's awesome.
Got a lot of equipment.
So let's back it up a couple years. You decide to get into the construction industry. What was the first name of your company?
I started with Patriot Handyman Services.
That's right.
Because I got out of I worked in the industry in, what was it? 99, I started doing construction materials testing. So I was, making sure everything was good on roads and construction, just quality control. So I did that for 7 years, and then I didn't do anything but drugs for a few years, and then got sober, and I ended up working for the treatment center I went to. Started as just a, bottom of the rung tech, and ended up running 3 facilities for them. And then at the end of it, I kind of got back into the construction handyman stuff with them, and did it for a couple of years, fixing just all of their stuff, all the, stuff clients break and just maintenance stuff. So did that, and it was new to them to have a full-time maintenance guy, and they asked me to do a, projection on what I think it's going to cost the next year, what it cost last year. And I was looking at it all, and I started doing the math, and I'm like, I wonder what it would be if I build this instead of got a, cheap salary, because there's no money in treatment unless you own it. And it was a lot of money. And I was actually considering going overseas with my stepdad to do contractor work. And it was, $250,000 a year. And the numbers on what I did were the same. So I ended up throwing that out the door. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So I left my job with $700 in the bank and did it. I mean, I've always bought tools, so I had all the stuff kind of going because I've always done side jobs and stuff. But I just went for it.
So when you went for it, kind of explain to people listening, like, what does that actually look like?
It's different now, but it was right after they changed the rules on how you could get a contractor's license, because I'd never had one, and I didn't really have the W-2 history and stuff to show the hours and all that, So they changed it, and I ended up going to the contractor school, it's called, up in Salt Lake, and did a few tests, and what else was it? Background check and some of the other things, and ended up getting a restricted contractor's license. So it's like $50,000 job max, right? Yeah. And after you do that for 2 years, then you can go back and get your B100. And so I did that, and did it for 2 years, kind of stayed under that umbrella, and it wasn't hard to do my first 2 years. But it was tough, and I was by myself then. That was without Joe. Yeah.
And you did, because he was doing like landscaping, right?
Mm-hmm. He did that for like 7 years. Yeah. Had his own business. Yeah.
So I remember, so you filed an LLC, right? Or did you do an S Corp?
S Corp.
Did an S Corp? Yeah. So you did an S Corp, file an LLC, get an EIN, get your contractor's license, and then you're pretty much off and running, right?
Yeah.
He's going out again. So who was your first client?
Oh. I don't know. I think it was Kathleen, one of my old bosses that I worked with for a little while in treatment. I did a remodel on her kitchen.
Because when you came and did my offices, I think you were working on like an ADA ramp on the building. Does that sound right?
Oh, yeah, I did. Those were actually... Those might have been the first ones, because those were friends, all from the treatment industry, because I was in it for so long. They all needed stuff, and none of them knew handyman. So I ended up doing a lot of treatment center work, and I think those were actually my first. That ADA ramp, man, that thing looked good too.
It did look good.
It was so nice.
So how did I know to hire you? Did you put like an ad on Facebook, or was it?
I did. I started a Facebook page. It was Jennifer Fitzgerald. Hers was my first job.
Oh, okay.
She had a shed in their backyard and wanted to turn it into a nail salon.
Oh, okay.
So I did that. That was my first job.
There you go.
That was it.
And they paid?
No, your job. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they paid. That was part of my problem, though, is I didn't know I'd never done the bidding, never done the billing, never done the pricing. So I didn't know what to charge. So I was giving work away until Joe came on. I was giving, and I'm too nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can do that. And I just don't say that. Yeah, but that's a change order.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's the deadly game you play in our industry. Is you got to define your scope of work, define your price, make sure you've covered all your bases, cover for insurance. You know, if you have to have a bond, you got to cover for the bond. It's not complicated, but there's steps to actually.
And I had the contractor school that I went to. They helped me set everything up.
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah.
good.
So I have a friend that did my insurance, and he still does my insurance. But they set up my company. They set up everything, and then they kind of directed me on where I get started with any needs that I'm going to have. Did they tell you what to do for accounting? Yeah, I mean that's part of your test, right? But
well, I mean, like for your internal systems, you just use QuickBooks
no. My dad did that.
Oh,
my dad helped me with that stuff. It didn't matter. There wasn't any money, and I was not great with the money either. So that was a really rough year.
Was it?
Yeah.
So when you did my offices, how long had you been open for?
The offices. That was when I had Joe, when Joe came in. So I had been a little over a year.
Would have been,
yeah. That was a rough job. You should have seen us there.
Oh, I paid attention.
3 days. Oh, you watching on the videos, huh?
No, just when I came in and saw like what you're doing.
3 days to do that whole remodel was rough. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. But
it looks fantastic.
Hey, let's take a nap over there under the desk for a few.
Yeah, because I just gave you access to the building. It was just like whatever, right?
Yeah, we stayed there the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Essentially.
No, you guys knocked it out quick, dude. It looks great. Still looks great. It's been freaking 4 years?
Has it been that long? Yeah, it has been that long.
Yeah, because I moved in 2016, and yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you guys have come a long way in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then do you still have that trim guy that did my house?
Yeah.
That dude's good.
He is. Yeah.
That dude's really
and he's running one of my crews. He's really stepped up.
Is he still doing trim work?
Nope. We only do excavation now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I
like that.
We got out of the homeowner stuff.
Why is that?
Because it's just difficult to deal with homeowners. Mm-hmm. Can be. It's not always.
But it mostly is.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just we bought the mini excavator and the skid steer I don't even remember why. I think we bought it to try and do rock walls. And we just kind of morphed. I don't know. It wasn't really a decision. It just happened. I don't know. We really liked being in the dirt, being a machine. They say once you see yellow, you see green.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you got better margins, I'm sure, and bigger projects, bigger dollar amounts. So you're not doing tons of little jobs.
And the contracts, we've got 3 developments that we're doing right now, and it's 400 homes over the next few years.
Yeah.
So there's the job security as well.
So there's the one I know about down in Springville. Is that the 40 acres?
No, we're doing this for a developer.
Oh, a developer hired you?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you still doing that one development on your own?
No. We bought the land, the 52 acres. We're just not going to have neighbors.
Oh, okay.
We're going to split it between the two of us. We're going to split half of it between the two of us. The other half will be our companies.
Oh, okay.
So we're right now getting construction loans to get that going.
So you're going to build homes?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I like that a lot.
Me too.
So you're both going to be on 15 acres each?
13.
Yeah. The rest of the business. That's cool.
Yeah, it'll be sweet. No neighbors. We can walk out the back door and go hunting right there in the wetlands.
By hunting, you mean walk around your backyard naked?
Yes. That's my goal, is to be able to walk out to the mailbox naked, not having neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know how that will work with my brother next door. His house will be up here.
Well, if he didn't get that LASIK a little while ago, it would have been just fine.
I know, right? Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
That was the coolest couple of weeks to be with him. He was like a child in a candy store. Yeah. So giddy.
No, yeah. I mean, he had like a perma smile when I saw him, you know? I was like, dude, that's freaking, it like makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing things again.
I wouldn't know. I've got excellent vision. So
yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't even wear contacts.
Actually, a few years ago, I was sitting in my office and my eyes just kept on going fuzzy. And I was just like, oh, like day after day after day, you know, really from staring at a computer screen. And so I just called up Hoops and just said, I need to book an appointment. It was a couple days later. And I just went in there because I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to wear glasses. I'm not going to do that crap. I'm just going to get the LASIK and go, you know, get on with life.
Right. I
take the test. I have 20/20 and 25/20. And the guys are like, we can't do anything for you.
That's,
you know, and I'm like, why the freak are my eyes getting fuzzy then? And he's like, what do you do all day? I'm like, sit at a desk, stare at a computer. He's like, yeah, don't do that. I'm like, oh, easier said than done. So
yeah. No, that's exactly what happened with mine. Went in because they were going fuzzy, but it was like, mine was stress and tired.
Yeah.
And it was making me nervous. I'm like, is this how people live?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is going to be awful.
Yeah.
I can't read anything. And so I went into, and they were like, when did you have LASIK? I said, well, I haven't had LASIK. They go, well, we haven't seen anyone with vision like this in a long time, especially your age.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was the same. It was nearly the same.
Because it fades for everybody, I guess.
So
that's wild, dude. I wonder if we're the only two that have really good vision at our age.
Seriously. My whole family, my whole family's blind. I don't.
Yeah, because Joe's, I mean, you never really think about it. You just see a guy with glasses on, but his were thick. He had
yeah. I mean, he was, I don't know. I'm not even going to say the numbers. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. So what's it like working with your brother? You know, you always hear these I work with my brother, obviously, but you always hear these horror stories of families and all this crap blowing up. But
so far, it's been great. I mean, we've had a couple of moments where we get stressed out, but it's not been, you know, and a lot of that was me. I wasn't pulling my weight a little bit at the beginning. But yeah, it's been really good. And funny thing is, so when we started, I couldn't get Joe to spend $15 on a tool. He is so tight. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten us to where we're at. So it's a good thing. But now if something happens or we need something, he's like, let's buy it. Got to do it. You know, he's just ready to jump every time now because it's been working.
Probably more of a time is money thing, right? It's like, get your stuff down. You're making money.
Well, that and, you know, we have faith in ourselves a little more now, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we were new, we were starting and, you know, we both run companies, but, you know, we hadn't expanded like we are. I mean, we've done about 400% increase in sales each year. This year, we're planning on about 200%.
Wow, that's terrible.
Right? We're slacking.
It's actually hard, man, because, you know, you grow that fast. It's good, but it's also, it creates a lot of downstream wind.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, many checks that I haven't received because the guy's got to get paid, you know, lots of ramen noodles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, with construction, what a lot of people don't understand is you might work in these massive contracts. Like for me in my business, right? We'll bid a job today. You know, we'll book it in 30 days or whenever the contractors end up sending you a contract, right? Mm. Then we work in a lot of schools, right? So we won't even touch a high school for 2.5 years, 3 years.
Right.
So our bookings sit there forever. You know, good for value in business, but at the same time, but for cash flow wise, it's like, you don't have a lot of cash. You sit there and pay employees for that long. So, you know, you build that.
Pay employees, pay equipment, pay fuel.
Yeah.
Fuel right now is terrifying. And, you know, our contracts, and we can't change it yet.
Yep.
So we're eating it hard because of this fuel thing.
Yeah.
And materials, you know, 10-foot metal conduit piece, you know, is $400 one pipe. It's ridiculous.
That's the thing too is, when we have contracts, they're set in stone.
Yeah.
You know, either you perform it or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you generally end up getting in a lot of trouble. They'll hit your bond.
Well,
It'll sink your business.
they love us. I mean, we started with, the one development in American Fork, kind of by the boat harbor.
Okay.
And, we exceeded expectations, and they invited us to another one in Spanish Fork.
Yeah.
So we started that one, killing it. And they said, so we've got another one. And we're like, oh, shit. how do we come up with more money for more equipment and more guys? But we just, of course, said, yeah, we can do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it. We rented a lot of equipment for a long time. And now that it's paid off, I think we'll finally start to make a little bit of money.
Oh, good.
It's exciting.
Yeah. You always say yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Or just get it done, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you just all it is do it, Lots of long days.
We carry a large product line inside our industry. A lot of that has to do with the way that architects send specifications out, because sometimes we'll just throw stuff in our specification, and if you don't bid the whole section, you can't bid it. So
yeah,
all of a sudden we're doing pole vault crap and this gets that, it's like whatever, right? But a lot of people be like, hey, do you guys sell this? And I'm like, I'll sell you a car if you want.
Right.
We will go find anything you want.
Right.
Just let me know what it is, And that's actually led to a lot of growth in our business, a lot of really good product lines. I think part of that is so one of my guys that's worked for me for a long time really runs most of the business now. He brought on in-wall tables, 13 years ago or something. He just saw a little weakness in the market. And now, I think we've done the 2 largest jobs in the Western states.
You said tables?
Yeah, and like cafeteria tables, the ones that you like tap and you like pull them out of the wall.
So not your kitchen table.
No. Yeah, like in elementary school. Yeah, no, not kitchen tables. I did have my kitchen table hand built.
You told me about it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I call it your Peleg table.
It could be. You definitely put more than one family on that bad boy. I know my little family sits at like one end every night, and it's like fits the room though.
The old Batman.
Yeah. See, it's a 14-person table, and I wanted it to be a 16-person table, and my wife was just like slamming her foot down, right? She wanted like an 8-person table. And I was like, no way, this is like the way the room works, this is how it's gonna be. And we're kind of squabbing back and forth on it. So the guys come to deliver it. I mean, this thing has 2.5-inch thick oak, right? And that's gotta be 5 feet wide or something like that. It's forever long. I had to get 4 or 5 guys to help me bring it into the house, and I was shitting my pants because she was going to be pissed. I was like, this thing is so big.
Doesn't it have like big steel legs too?
Yeah. Big steel legs. My friend Aaron Zire welded those up for me, and it's solid, bro. I mean, it is. You and I could dance the jig on top of it, and it wouldn't even flex.
All 700 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
I actually like building stuff like that. I've got some walnut from my great grandpa's tree.
That's cool.
It is beautiful too. It's just sat and aged in my uncle's garage.
Yeah,
and I got to get some of it.
What are you gonna build with
it? Coffee tables and end tables and stuff for my house.
Yeah, have you seen my coffee table at the house?
Yeah,
5x6. Dude, it's massive too.
Well, your house is massive, so you gotta.
Yeah. That's the thing. You got to fit the room, right?
Especially your vaulted ceilings. Like you need to.
Yeah. It's a nice room.
You don't want to put an apartment-sized coffee table in there.
We did when we first moved in. We were a little poor back then. It was like got like this little tiny section on that front room. I'm like, this doesn't look good. Well, I used to sit there and play video games on bar stools with my kids, like on a TV.
Well, you basically stole that house, didn't you?
With nowadays prices.
Right.
Oh yeah, dude. It was a nice home when I bought it, and it's probably tripled in price.
Yeah. It's like our property in 1 year. It's just insane.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
When it bursts.
Will it?
I don't know. I mean, the housing problem is just huge.
Yeah. People
need houses.
I mean, I hear different numbers, so
Me too.
I've heard we're like 2,000 homes behind here in Utah. I think
that's about what I've heard. Ish.
Yeah.
So we got all the exodus from California and New York, and then just
Utah's a good place to go. I think we're currently ranked #1 economy.
Really?
I think so. In the U.S.
We've always done pretty well compared to most places.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a business friendly state. It's also a free state.
Yeah.
I travel a lot. So, I mean, during COVID, it was just bananas, dude.
Right.
Absolute bananas. I mean, even now, dude, I mean, you walk around the Salt Lake airport and there's 5% of people wearing a mask. And to me, I'm like, whatever. You want to wear a mask, wear a mask. But then you fly to Seattle, right? And 85% of people are wearing a mask and their little dogs have a mask on. And
unbelievable.
And you got the double mask people. Those are always my personal favorite. Like
mine's
paper masks. Okay.
Mine's the homemade ones, the fabric ones. Like, I mean, when was the last time you washed that? You know?
Oh,
never. So, once a week. Like,
funny story.
That's
right?
Healthy.
In the middle of COVID, right? I go to the liquor store, right? And I don't have a mask. And they're like, not letting me in. And I literally turn around and there's a freaking mask because I was going to a party. There's a freaking mask on the ground, stamped into the ground, dude. I pick it up, like smack it around a little bit. I'm like, ugh, and just put it on my face. And they were just like cool with it.
Did you ever see the mask I used to wear?
No, I don't think so.
It was a jock strap, bright green.
I'm surprised you can put one on. That was definitely a fashion statement.
I wore it for months. If I had to go in somewhere, I put on a jock strap on the face. And one of my guys, we were getting him a phone, and I made him wear it to get the phone. So we went in together with these jock straps to T-Mobile.
And everyone's just peaceful.
It's a mask. It's covering.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I can't wait till I'm 80 and I read the history books on what happened during this time.
Seriously.
The book will probably be The Day the World Complied.
Right.
No matter what, you know. Trust the government. We'll probably live in Singapore by then, but who the heck knows?
It'll be Red Dawn time.
Yeah. But, I mean, and quite honestly, though, I mean, with all the craziness that's going on, I'm still very happy to live in America. I mean, the rest of the world is insane.
The whole world's in the same situation right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you see all like the protests and, where are they? Somewhere in Europe. They're starting to regulate how much fertilizer they can use and all this stuff. So all these farmers they're actually taking their manure spreaders and spraying shit all over the buildings. They're pretty upset up there.
So I got to be honest. So right now it's July, 2022. I have actually not watched the news. I've watched financial news because I turn that on in the morning, like Bloomberg. But I have not watched news since last October.
Oh, I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I'll watch, Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, some of the other things, because like, I mean, Joe Rogan's a liberal, but he's smart.
He's also neutral.
Yeah.
Really it's about his guests. I've had people like yell at me that, oh, you're just a Joe Rogan bro. I'm like, what does that mean? He has a guest on and the guest is giving his opinion. Yeah. They're having a conversation. You got to point out the bias for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Bernie Sanders on, who's an insane freaking old bro.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things where I'm like, people are so swayed by the media, and I didn't want to be swayed by it anymore, so I stopped watching it.
No, I don't watch the news, and I take everything all those guys say with a grain of salt too.
Yeah.
I almost don't believe anything anymore.
Yeah.
So,
plus, if you want to get lied to, you can just join a religion.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But
yeah,
crazy.
The world's a scary place right now. It's getting worse.
So explain to me and the audience so excavating. Kind of explain the process of how that works. Because you're gonna bid a job. It's pretty much the first thing that happens on a construction site, correct? Right?
Yeah, we'll go bid the contract. Like with these guys, we basically there's a PO already set for each thing because they're just track homes, right? Yeah. So, we do a dig, we send them that PO that's completed. But yeah, the process at the beginning is pretty intense. All the bidding and all the schmoozing. And
how many competitors do you have in your bidding?
In the industry?
Just like if you were to bid a job tomorrow, like how many do you think would bid against you?
Oh, 15, 20 probably.
Oh, that many, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's so many contractors that won't work.
Do a lot of generals self-perform that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Joe and my dad did mine. Did Visionary Homes.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have anything to do with that. I was still building walls because I'm not an office guy. I'm a construction guy. Yeah. So I'd be out with the crew and working on stuff, and Joe would actually mostly in his spare time. He worked way too much. He would do all that clerical and office stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not me at all. I can't run QuickBooks for the life of me.
Yeah. So, I've met a few of you in my lifetime.
That's why it's good I got Joe.
Well, and that's alluding to that. I mean, it's one of the best reasons to have a partner. Mm-hmm. I think if you clearly define what each person's best at, and you align those two things, and then hire a couple employees to fill in the other gaps, and stay in your freaking lane.
Yeah, we complement each other well.
Yeah, yeah. And your dad's part of the company, right?
I mean, he's helped us.
Is he more of a consultant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know. I mean, he's done a lot of physical labor. I wish he would stop.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He doesn't know how to stop.
But kind of cool though, right? I mean,
yeah, it's awesome.
Your dad's hanging out with his boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's.
Yeah, and then
I worked with my dad for a long time. It was great working with my dad, and he's retired now and kind of doing fun stuff for him. But a lot of grandkid time and stuff. But working with your dad, I mean, if you have a good relationship, is really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not always, but most of the time it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's always good with Dad. It's just Joe and I, back, like I said, at the beginning there were a couple times, but my fault. So I'll own it.
Well, if you in a relationship that never has an argument either, that's also a massive problem.
Right. And we both have that problem. That was a lot of the problem is we don't communicate.
Oh, you got to learn
we don't communicate the hard stuff as very well, but we've actually gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. So let's say, you get the contract, you go rolling over the job site. Do you have a set of plans you work off of?
They'll give us a build set for each home.
Okay.
But I mean, we kind of get pretty used to it once we've done 3 of them.
Yeah. Have they sprayed out the ground and stuff?
No, we do that.
Oh, you guys do all that? Okay.
They survey it and stake it, but we mark it all out.
So you mark it all out. How long is it marking it out? I mean, I know it depends on how many homes you're doing, but is that a week-long process, 2 weeks?
To mark it out?
Yeah.
Well, they only do, 1 or 2 at a time. They only do a couple as you go. And a lot of that's just the market right now. They can only get 70% of the concrete they order. And, we've got 10 open holes right now waiting for concrete.
Yeah.
So it's, we just do it with each one. Gotcha. And they don't even stake the other ones because we're usually throwing spoils over there anyway.
Right. So what's the duration then for marking out to when you're done excavating?
Day and a half.
Yeah.
Or a day. Depends on the size of the home.
Yeah.
And if we've got the loader at that site or not. For the spoils.
Yeah, you got to move your equipment around. And
only the loader. We've got everything everywhere else, but it's a pricey piece of equipment. So
what's one cost?
Oh, we're looking at one right now. We're not going to buy it, but we just looked at one for $210, and it's got 1,300 hours on it. 2019. They're expensive.
Yeah. So. I know I get hit up all the time for equipment lease, or what would you call that? Rental programs or
the RPO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing so we've been doing that for a couple of years, and then we finally got some financing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, very cool. So, you're currently looking for more projects, or do you have enough on the plate?
Oh yeah, we're looking.
You're always looking?
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta, because right now we've started trucking, right? You saw that?
I did see
Started
that.
a trucking company. We've got one dump truck, hired a driver, spent $1,000 on an air conditioning system, installed it on the truck for her, blew the motor the next day. Cost more to put a new motor in than we paid on the truck. Sorry, I just spaced your question.
No, you added more stuff. Oh,
more jobs.
Yeah.
So we're adding that. we're also trying to get out of having all our eggs in one basket. You know, we'd like another developer that we're working with.
Yeah.
So that if, you know, we do something or, you know, they fire us or we just want to leave because they're not paying or whatever, we've got another option.
More stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So tell me about the trucking. What drew you into that?
Well, I don't know. One day I was driving in Spanish Fork and saw this ugly yellow dump truck, an old snowplow truck. 2 or 3 years ago. I'm like, Joe, we should buy this. We just should. That was the first time I got him to spend some real money.
Yeah.
And so we bought it. I didn't have a CDL. He didn't have a CDL. So we were running under farm use because we've got a farm. Got my CDL and just started driving, really liked it. And we ended up getting some haul off from Visionary, the developer we're doing now. Ran it for about 2 weeks and we just saw the numbers and it was worth it.
Yeah.
So when the truck motor blew, well, we hired the driver. We were just going to wait and then slowly purchase some more trucks. And when that motor blew, we started doing the numbers and it looks like at about 3 trucks is where you start making some money. So now we're going to fix that one and buy a couple more.
Cool.
We're working on some loans right now, hopefully.
Yeah. So what's a dump truck cost?
We're looking at around 35,000. So an older one, but then a side dump would be about 70. That's what we're getting one of those too.
Yeah. That's one of the things that's funny, right? We're going to look at this in 30 years and be like, that was absolutely nothing.
Yeah, right.
It's like, it is very expensive right now, what he's saying.
Yes.
In the current economy.
That's ridiculous. So
it's just going to be dumping?
Yeah, just local dirt hauling. Yeah. We're working. So I guess that was part of it. I met a guy. So we were hauling all this dirt from the job those 2 weeks. We were hauling it to my property. Mm. We ended up getting paid to haul dirt to our property that we needed because we're in a 100-year floodplain. So we're going to build elevated, right?
Yeah.
But I met one of these drivers that asked who I am and how long I've had the truck and how much do we use it and all that stuff. And he offered his contracting or his brokering for trucks. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, heck, call me if you need a truck. Yeah. So we started getting into that, and it costs us a little money to use him, but we'll break away once we've got some trucks on the road. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's good, man. I mean, that's the thing. You just got to scrap this stuff together.
Yeah.
I mean, people think you go get a loan from the bank and buy 10 brand new trucks. Like, that ain't happening.
No. It's a painful, not painful. It's a process.
Well, even people, right? I mean, I'm probably going to bang on this a million times in this podcast, but I hate the buzzwords out there like use other people's money. It's like a real estate term, right? It's like, well, yeah, you can use other people's money because you have like an asset that everyone understands. It's real estate, right? You go to get a freaking used dump truck. It's like no one's loaning you money on that.
Chris Whipple loaned it.
Did he actually do it? Well, that's because he understands it, though.
Mm-hmm. He loaned us a lot of money. Actually, he loaned us money for that, and he loaned us money for our Dodge Ram.
Oh, really?
And our dump trailer.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky.
Yeah.
And that's probably what happens with everybody, right? They get some sort of luck.
Well, I actually had a friend loan me the money for the equipment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, good.
A lot of money. He was we won't go there. Yeah, he's a good friend.
So how'd you structure those deals? Is it just an interest rate, normal amortized loan?
Yeah.
Okay. With a balloon payment or just?
No.
Just long term?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're still paying Chris.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, like getting all that equipment, doing the RPO, the rental purchase option. And, we wanted to make sure that we could hack it, make sure we could even do it before we spent all that money. And then you got to have the money.
Yeah.
And like I said, I started with $700, so we have no cushion still. We're still getting there. It's been tight, but.
So what do you think the hardest part of running a construction business is? Probably currently
cash
labor,
flow.
right? Oh, cash flow.
Flow and labor. Like cash flow will be a lot different when we've got some cash.
Yeah.
You know, once we start to build some profit and keep it in the company instead of putting it back, buying more stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to hit a plateau, right? You got to hit the point where you're going to sit there for a minute, like a year or two, and you kind of, you build your cash reserves and you kind of hit the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, and staffing employees. That's,
how are you finding guys right now?
we do KSL, Indeed, Facebook, everywhere.
Yeah.
Monster. And just not many people apply. And if they do, there's a reason they don't have a job. Yeah. We've had some real winners that came for a day and said they broke their back. And we got a $14,000 ER bill the day after he said he got it. He went to the ER.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you just tear it up?
Oh, no. The workers' comp had to pay it.
Really?
Well, we battled with it a little bit. And the workers' comp guy was like, yeah, this guy's no good. He's got history of doing this, but they ended up having to pay his lost wages, not the ER bill. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I've had that crap happen to me. I had a guy that worked in a computer, and who knows what the truth is, right? But he worked in a computer all day, all night. He was an IT guy for us. But we didn't need a full-time IT guy, so we sent him out in our shop. He's drilling on some wood, making some display cabinets. A couple days in, dude, he says he has carpal tunnel. Like, you have been on a computer for 20 years, my friend, and we're gonna pull that right now. I think it was just because he's mad that he was
not doing the IT. Yeah.
And whatever, right? You just take the beat down and you just freaking let workers' comp deal with it. We're always on the employee side, and then
that's our first.
Raise your rates next year.
It's our first and only claim.
Yeah,
but which is pretty good, and it was recently, and it was just because he was tweaker looking for drugs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole process I've experienced myself. Yeah. Basically, I didn't go to the ER and make the company paid for it. I used my insurance. Yeah. But I got to go get pain pills.
Yeah. 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 I cut my finger one night, really bad. You gotta see the little bottom here. Mm-hmm. Little scar action because I'm an idiot. I picked up some pipe with some shard in it, dude, and I'm lucky I didn't sever my finger off. But so I go to, and this was like at 1 o'clock in the morning, of course, it's never during the day. So I go to Instacare, and it's my company's workers' comp, right? And so they're like, "You used to work?" I was like, "Nope." "What are you doing at night?" "Just doing stuff." Yeah. They sew it up for $85 or whatever it was. I paid with a credit card and got out of there. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to let this cost me $1,900 in, up to premium for the next 4 years.
I still have the same doctor I had when I was 5, Scott Smith, my next door neighbor.
Oh, really? Yeah. How old is he?
Probably 60, 65.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, he's been my doctor since forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can go in and tell him, yeah, I did it at work, but no, I didn't do it at work.
I currently do not have a doctor, and I haven't had one probably since I got home from my mission.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I have one of my really good friends is a plastic surgeon, and I just go to him with stuff. I mean, he would, if there was an emergency, tell me what to do, right? But, if I've got something weird, like my eyeball right now is all infected. I have a cyst in there. We're going to end up cutting that out in a couple of weeks because it's just not hot. But, then I have a testosterone doctor, kind of.
Yeah, see, Scott does that for me too.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm basically a woman on my testosterone numbers, so I got to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too, dude. I've been doing it for 7 years.
Part of this guy here.
Yeah. We share the same thing. Do you have a CPAP machine?
No.
Do you need one?
Probably. I've tried them multiple times, and there are nights I've thrown it across the room.
Oh, really?
I can't do it. I already have sleep issues.
Yeah.
I cannot fall asleep.
Yeah, I know you got some. Mine just goes under my nose. So if you can close your mouth while you sleep, it's actually
a little nose pillow.
Yeah, it's just kind of like right there. I joke though that I think everyone should have one because I get 6 hours of sleep now, and it's full 8 hours. My wife will tease the death out of me because I say this to everybody. And now I'm on my podcast talking about it.
Well, everyone says that when you get used to it and it works, your life is so much better.
That's the best.
I tried for 6-7 months. Seriously.
Jeez.
I even had
Did you have the mask?
I tried probably 7 different things. I tried a mask. I tried several nose pillows because I liked the nose pillow, but just none of them were right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up getting the nasal surgery, and then I did a laser treatment. It's called Celia laser treatment in my throat, and it shrinks all the fatty tissues, so you don't have that choking when you're sleeping, and it helps with snoring and everything. Oh. And that's only $700. You should look at it.
Yeah, I might. Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt.
I could lose some weight too, but I'd rather pay $700.
You go in and it's 15 minutes and you're done, no pain, nothing.
Oh yeah, you're just out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Two times.
I do need to look at that.
Yeah, I've lost 60 pounds over the last 6.5 months.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally under 300 again.
Nice.
Jeez. I can't believe I got over 300 pounds.
Yeah, I'm currently sitting at like 322, but I was almost 340 a month ago. So I'm on my way down. I'm doing that 75 hard thing.
Are you?
Yeah. It's actually a good program. It's actually easy to do. The thing with it is it's just relentless. So like there's no days off, So normally you go to the gym 6 days in a row. You're like, hey, this is a freaking good week, Now I've worked out twice a day for 6 days in a row, and I got to do it again tomorrow.
And
I got to do it again tomorrow for 75 freaking days.
I used to do that. I was in such good shape.
Yeah.
When I was like 30, 210 pounds solid.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss it. I'll never get back down to 210, I don't think.
I can get there. You just got to start bringing chicken breasts to the job sites.
That's where my body stopped hurting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
About 210.
Yeah. That's interesting, too, because, being in construction, a lot of people, they can't handle it their whole life. Mm-hmm. People really peter out at 50.
Yeah,
especially if you're using your hands and you're walking around job sites, and
it's hard on you.
Yeah. I mean, and certain ones are real bad. Tile guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they just get, anything on the floor. Yeah. Carpet guys, even with
flat work.
Yeah. All that flat work. You're just on your knees. You're on pads all day. Even bricklayers, man. I mean, they're just bending over, and our two buddies, they roof.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably go forever because those guys are freaking animals.
That's funny, actually. So we're standing at one of our developments, our newest one. Joe and I were having a conversation. We're not normally together at work because we're all over the place, right? Yeah. And we're just chatting. We're talking. I think we were talking about the new trucks situation, and I look down the road. I'm like, man, that sure looks like a Larson. And just kind of joking, Yeah. And all of a sudden, Richard walks up.
Oh, really, Rich?
Yes.
In the flesh.
He lives right next door. Rolled up on his morning walk.
Oh, you were down in Elk Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's like directly up the street.
Was he by himself or was he with his wife?
By himself.
Oh, by himself.
Middle of the day. His wife was probably home with his 36 kids.
Yeah. There's a little bit of joy I find in him having. Yeah. It's 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 kids.
I'm really glad that he found someone so quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was sad.
She seems to be awesome. We went to the wedding and stuff, but we haven't seen him much since then. I mean, it's pretty new, but yeah.
I don't think I've met her.
Yeah, I think she's from Utah, but she ended up moving to like South Dakota, I think, for a long time.
Okay.
Which that kind of life would be dope. So, yeah, man. So, all righty, my friend, it's time.
Is it?
It is time for you to give us your best 2 minutes of advice.
Oh, boy. Always give back. You give to your community. Give to your family. Be honest. Be trustworthy. Do the work and things you say you're going to do when you're going to do them. Complete them with integrity and caring for what you're doing. So, really put your heart into what you're doing. You know, I've had guys where it's just so hard to get them to care about what they're doing, and they just half-ass everything. And, you know, I want my product to be excellent all the time. It's just necessary, you know, do the little bit of work to kind of clean up around the house with the skid steer when they're done with their backfill and make it look nice. So the landscapers come in and it's just ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, they put a little topsoil, throw some sprinklers in, they're done. Take chances, jump. I mean, you're not going to get any, like life's going to pass you by whether you participate or not. Right. So, you know, do what you say you're going to do. And, the integrity part is huge in the community. You know, we've sponsored a couple of like junior kid golf tournaments, and
yeah.
You know, when we have a little extra money, we're going to do more of that. It's hard to do. And, you know, care about people and let them know you care about them. Let your employees know you care. Let your employees know you're grateful. You know, our employees, we wouldn't be here without them. We lost one not too far back that was hard. But, you know, if you're starting a company, make it a place that people want to work. And when you're hiring people, hire people you want to work with, because that's more important to me is having someone that I want to deal with every day than someone who's going to make a few mistakes. You know, and be kind when they do, as kind as you can be. You know, when they roll your skid steer twice, it's time to yell at them. But, you know, I still probably wouldn't let you go.
Yeah.
If it continues forever, it has to happen. I got to let someone go. But, you know, be forgiving, you know. I don't know. Is that 2 minutes?
That's plenty, dude. Whatever you want to say. Yeah, no, I like it a lot. No, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on my podcast, and little teeny baby podcast right now. And
hey, got to start somewhere, right? Jump.
Yeah, exactly. We're jumping.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how Yellowstone grows over the next 20 years. And
I am too.
Hope you sell that freaking thing and make millions and millions and millions.
Hopefully it grows fast enough that by the time my body is 50 years old, I'm not working.
Right. Yeah. So. Or just drive around in the big nice
right.
truck,
That's what I mean. Not, you know, just cruise around and make sure the guys are doing what they want to do or what they need to do.
You always tell the guys that made it, they're always in their 60s and they always have the nicest truck and the cleanest boots.
Well, see, and that's one of the things, you know, get in the trades. The trades are not beneath us. You know, schools, our education system, since you and I ended school, has taught kids that the trades are beneath them, and they're not. You know, you see those $100,000 trucks driving down the road with a $200,000 boat. I'll bet you that's a contractor and paid cash for it. Mm-hmm. I know many contractors like that. Or get a text, hey man, guess what I just did? Wrote a check and paid off my house.
Yeah.
Get in the trades. Do some work. Feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Get off the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Go out there and get some dirt on your freaking fingers. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think kids, I think they would be served very well if they graduated high school and worked for 4 years in the trades. Yeah. Learn a trade. I mean, I learned welding at like 15 years old.
Right.
And I haven't welded in 10 years, but, you know, like if I needed to, I could jump down and freaking, well, I could weld still.
See, that's how I am. Anything with my hands, I can do.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't say that like I'm special, but like it's always been easy for me.
Well, and that's the thing. There's only so many social media influencers that you can have out there.
Right.
You know, you gotta, and there's a lot of money in the trades because the demand is very high and the supply is very low.
And it's only going to get better for the contractor because of the skills gap. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great industry to be in the next 10 years.
Oh yeah. See, we've hired, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 like guys in their 20s the last few years. And
I have a 17-year-old.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Is he working out?
Yeah, he's amazing. He's my best guy.
Oh, good.
He's not my best. He's incredible.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of really good guys.
I'll tell you, dude, I like farm kids.
Yeah, me too.
You walk into my office and slap a
Hardworking.
resume down and your parents own a dairy farm or an orchard or something like that. I'm like, you're hired. We'll deal with the rest.
Yep.
It's just like, at the end of the day, I know you're not going to leave a job. I know you're going to sit there till the job's done. I know your dad probably whooped you verbally and physically at some point in your life. And if you didn't,
sure
an animal
you're gonna
did.
be capable. And you probably have learned how to problem solve and critical think and fix some things. So, create a solution.
Farm boys are the best.
I'm going to be a farm boy.
I will never be a farm boy, but
My grandpa was a farmer though too.
was he? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we kind of did more of I've got the immigration blood in me. You know, my dad immigrated over here when he was 18. And so I've got my first job started at 8 years old, putting nuts and bolts together for him. And I love the way that I grew up, different than farming.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was never in want. My parents did really well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
So I was never wanting. I mean, unless it was like spoiled brat wanting, but I was never, if we needed it, it was there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, our parents definitely took care of us. And, we in turn got to take care of our kids, get the next generation rolling. There's a gap there that's kind of weird. I don't know what's going to happen with them, but
I still don't have kids. I'm not sure that'll happen.
Hey, you never know. You can meet someone today.
Yeah, but I also don't know if I want to be a 60-year-old with 20-year-olds. I wanted to be a young dad. I really did, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now I don't think I want to raise kids in this world. Sorry for you. Yours are kind of, but it's just getting worse.
Mine are like coming. Yeah, no, it's hard, dude. It's way hard. I mean, but we homeschool.
Yeah.
So we're not taking a stand per se, but we pulled them out. We got pulled out for COVID. That's when we pulled them out, or that's when they were forced out, I should say. And then my wife's really intellectual, really smart, and she loves it. My wife has always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
So homeschool flows right into that.
Yeah.
Especially because she's capable. And she's lucky, man. She's super lucky. I've been dealing with, a little bit of guilt in my life recently because I had this plan that, when my kids were young, my wife would take care of them. I'd go make as much money as I can, make the family financially stable. And I'm right in that turning point where I spend a lot more time with my kids, They relate to me better now, or not that I've been absent, but I look at my wife and I'm like, you are so lucky. You saw all their first steps, all their first words. You know what I mean? You take them to all their things and you've built this vault of memories with them.
Right.
I
mean, it's actually been it's been on my mind a lot lately that I missed that train, that I might be alone. Everything I'm going to create is just going to end with me.
Yeah.
But
that's definitely something to consider,
Yeah.
You can always do it.
I want the kids. I'm just not sure I want the wife.
Coming from a guy who has an awesome marriage, I know what you mean. No, it's wild out there, dude. There's divorce left and right. I mean, it's life.
Well, I'm just no good at it either. I'm not.
Well, you never actually given it a shot.
I haven't.
Never said I do.
I haven't. I almost got married once, but I haven't. Huh?
How old were you?
22, I think.
Oh, young guy. That's when I got married. Anyone I know?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. I like it when I know. I mean, crap, you've covered 3 high schools. I should have known which one of these girls that you dated.
She's from Salt Lake.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Well, very good. Thanks for that advice. I agree with everything you said. I mean, it's good. I like that my podcast can give advice from people of all different ages, Yeah. I mean, we're 40, right? Halfway through, almost halfway through. Hell, we could be 90% through. You never know. That's the fun part, right?
Right.
And so, your advice is prudent, and I like that you talked about the trades, man, because any dude that's sitting in college right now hating their life, go to the trades.
Mm-hmm. That's going to leave and hate it even more.
Oh, yeah.
If they can even find a job, right? Because, it's so flooded with people.
Most big companies are hiring freezes.
Yeah.
And when the economy slips a little bit more, they're going to get laid off.
Yeah.
But anyhow, man, thanks for coming on again.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Once you guys hit your 50 million mark in sales in a year, we'll have you back on.
Well,
like 2 years from now.
Thanks for listening to the President McCormack Podcast, brought to you by McCormack Foundation, Saxton Fund, ADP Lemco, and Professional Floor Systems. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and keep up with Mark on Instagram @President McCormack.